welcome into the conversation today. Today's urgency meeting, 8:20, 500 seconds of your resilience. I haven't mentioned this in a while, but if you get a chance, hop over to the website, 820podcast.com. There you can get a little more background on me, your host, Ming, Ahmad. Also on the book, Resilience, the Beauty of Presence. You can even download or access all the previous episodes of the 820 Enterprise. And of course, a way to even contact me directly for further conversations or deeper discussions on any of the topics that you've heard so far, or maybe ones that you'd like me to expound on, or new ones that you were inspired to share with me from your journey. But let's get on to today's topic. It's called 820. It's what makes you spin. Yeah, I'm talking about our common vibrational energy, how we rotate with energy that moves us forward, that keeps us alive. The 820 podcast is designed for that. I want you to spin. Not to spin around the axle on an idea, a word, or a definition that I have created, that I have produced. I want you just to wrestle with it, to work with it, to work it out and digest it, spit it out, ingest it, share it, or ignore it. But I want you to at least consider and enjoy the experience with me. So, 820, I want to emphasize what it's all about. It's about self-discovery of presence, of patience, of production. And then one word that captures all of that from the book to these episodes, resilience. So the ones I have put in the book and was one that I have cited to you in the audio podcast are examples, experiences I've received, and models to get on towards your idea and your vision of resilience and your direction towards that. Of course, be easy to ask the question, well, how do you start, if you want to do that, how do you start and continue doing that, given all those challenges and, mishaps and missteps or challenges that all of us receive every day? I try to start with and stay with what's common to you and I. And I know some of those commonalities are, I guess you consider them as given. Air, life, breath, blood, heartbeat, essence. When I say what's common, I'm trying to get to that core commonality, not your car versus my car or your house versus my apartment. Not that kind of stuff, not the outer stuff. I'm trying to get to the inner stuff. Not on the margins. What's closer to your essence and my essence. And I submit to you, once we get there collectively, we can see the commonalities more than we see the margins. And I'm trying to get to even deeper at the essence, to that spark, that light, that currency that moves us all forward in different directions perhaps. But we're all going towards maybe ambling about in my life, ambling about, wandering in the wilderness, but has been getting back to and forward into who we are at our core. But what puts us individually and collectively and commonly into motion is that essence, that spark, that light. And that's whether we're aware of it or not. It's like day and night. We can appreciate, when it's bright outside and when it's dark outside. When you can see clearly for miles, and then sometimes you're going to see maybe a good 50, 100 yards in front of you. But that day and night, in quotation marks, we should keep it there, in quotation marks. Because even during the bright sunny day, let me put it personally. For me, even on a bright sunny day, I'm gonna have dark periods where I don't see, I don't know how, but I don't see how to get from here to there in the next 5 minutes. Typically, it happens when I'm restarting my exercise, my regimen, and haven't run in months or haven't slowly jogged in months. And I start out like, man, I gotta get to that corner like sometime soon, but it's taking like forever. So even though it's bright and sunny outside, there's no wind, maybe there isn't even a wind, a breeze behind my back, yet I'm struggling to move forward on a simple exercise of putting one foot in front of the other to be productive, physically productive. Exercise those lungs, exercise those nostrils, breathing in, exercise those ears, listening to nature, those eyes that's in front of me, that's seeing things in front of me. Shouldn't be that hard, but once I have been so lethargic or not doing basic stuff like that, it becomes a challenge, a chore, a burden almost. And there are many out there, not in comparison, but if I didn't have legs, I couldn't even have this option. If I didn't have the breath, I couldn't even have that option. If I didn't have the ability to receive those thoughts or the ideas of getting out there and moving that body, I wouldn't have that option. So again, I'm not trying to get too ethereal here and, being, too, soapy and, softly defining the challenge of living. We all have things that are much harder than getting up and putting clothes on and going to work or finding a job or staying engaged or staying in a conversation or staying in a relationship. We all have challenges like that. Me talking about, just as an example, because this is recent, just getting up and moving in motion, not in thinking about motion, but in motion. And that's that day and night thing I want to tease out a bit. It's not the physical nighttime and daytime. It's really those periods of time where it's dark as hell out there, yet can you still see the light? Can you still feel the light that's inside of you to move you forward into motion? Not in stasis, not being stagnant, but moving forward. Yeah, maybe you can't see as far as you can in the bright daylight, but you can see the next step in front of you. You can see the next thing to do in front of you. And that's a reminder to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you, but if nothing else, it's a statement for me to remember to do just that. Don't think about it. Observe the energy before, behind, ahead, and always present in that question about what you do. Do you spin forward or are you spinning in place? As always, stay present, stay current, and stay in the 820. It makes you spin. Thanks again.